Let's talk about cruise control. People forget about cruise control. I mean, that was a big deal back in the early 60s, and now it's just taken for granted. Tilt cruise, it's like ragu. It's in there. It's an ingredient that's in there. But you've got dynamic radar cruise, you got eyesight adaptive cruise, you've got active cruise. I mean, again, it's the same thing. You set the speed and it just sits there. And I love these features simply because, it keeps the driver a lot more alert, I think, on the highway. You're not as fatigued. With the adaptive cruise controls, the one thing I don't like about that is if you're doing 70, 75 and a guy in front of you slows to 65, guess what? You're down to 65 and you don't realize it. And
Well, you should pay more attention. And if
no,
the guy in front of you slows down
yeah.
to 65, you should
Then,
slow
then I
down to
got my lane
65
control that won't
regardless.
let me shift lanes without putting a turn signal on, and it's
See,
fighting me on the wheel.
that's the thing.
I
Yeah.
mean, all these adaptive systems, I'm turning these damn things off when I'm doing a long distance ride to Orlando. Um, but no, that's the thing. And a rental car is the main thing. I'm driving from point A to B, and it's a distance, and it's got the adaptive set up in there. And I'm like, what the hell? No wonder I'm not making any time. Traffic clears and you go to reset it and it's still there at 65. It's like, no, I want to do 75, doggone it. And you want to get lulled to sleep. To me, it's just not as functional. Yeah, when I hit the brake and I disengage, I understand that it's going to roll back to whatever the highway speed is of the car in front of me. But when I want to maneuver around it, I just hit re-engage and it brings me back up. I don't have to reset it every time. And that's the big gripe I have with it. That's all.
Oh, yeah. A lot of these systems it's always a dance on the head of the pin between control and convenience. Because I mean, like, goes back to manual transmissions. Heck, I'm sure there were probably guys in the 20s going, I'll never have electric start in my vehicle. I want to know when I crank the thing that I'm cranking the thing and I can crank it the way and the speed and when I want to. No battery electric starter going to start my engine. So,
Yeah,
I
let them
mean,
break their wrist or arm,
yeah,
cranking that rascal when it recalls
shoulder.
on them. Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's always, and the big one, manual transmissions. I mean,
yeah.
they even had well, everyone remembers the book from the 80s, I think, Real Men Don't Eat Quiche. Yeah,
Yeah, I
and
remember it's a very popular book.
but remember, one of the things in there was real women don't drive automatic.
Mm. Well,
And but
you know
it
what?
was
You're
funny because
right.
the corollary was that one of the yeah, real men are confident enough in their masculinity to let their transmissions shift themselves. So it was kind of funny.
Boy, boy, boy. You know, uh, let me tell you something. There's a lot of young ladies that are turning wrenches right now in
Yep.
dealerships that never would have gotten that opportunity 30, 40 years ago. I guarantee you they know how to shift an automobile if it's available.
I don't know. I mean,
Oh, I know a
I've
lot of them
known
that can. I know a lot of them that can. Uh,
I've known many men mechanics who, well, not many, but there are male mechanics who can't shift a manual transmission.
well,
Well, now, yeah, if you're saying mechanic, no, unfortunately I've seen way too many valets that couldn't drive a manual, uh,
guaranteed. It's
and
a
there've been porters, and I'm going, you're a valet, you're a porter, you need to know how to drive a stick shift,
yeah, it's a Millennium theft device. It's a 5 speed
right? And I mean,
theft control system for Millennial.
and a
Um,
lot of these things, actually did help ladies get into driving. I mean,
oh, sure.
there were extremely limited numbers of female drivers before the electric start.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But again, you know, just the times, okay? 100 years ago when Henry Ford introduced the Model T, it's, totally different times. I mean, women's suffrage didn't go into effect till what, 1922, 24? All right, so women, weren't given the same opportunity that men were way back when. So, the 60s
No.
and the 70s, the liberations and the women's movements, again, getting out of the politics of it, just the dynamics of availability. A lot of cars up until recently were available with a manual shift. I can tell you, my wife, when we first met in high school, she was driving a Ford Maverick. And her dad was telling me he'd had to put a new clutch in that damn thing almost every other week because she was
Oh,
burning it up. Okay.
I had to put a
And
clutch in my Cobalt,
yeah,
but that was because of my son. My daughter picked up
yeah,
manual right away. She had no problem.
yeah. I think it was just more just coordination and stuff. And she didn't care, I guess, at the time, being 17, 18 years old. But,
Yeah, exactly.
maybe
That wasn't a female thing at all. That was just
no, that was just, it was a Maverick. I mean,
that was
everybody
just a
threw
young
up the
person
clutch.
thing, period.
But it was also a three on a tree. It wasn't a stick shift too, so that was a little bit tougher to shift
Yeah,
than
the operation of the shifter, but
yeah,
I wouldn't think that that would
it
affect
wasn't
how good you were on the clutch, though. But
no
I
no, but
guess
I'm just
the
saying the
fact that it's a little
coordination.
harder to figure it out might have,
I did,
I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah. I just like I said, like I said, it's just a joke. Every time we see an old Maverick on the road, which is rare, it's like, oh, you remember your dad? Your daddy told me burn up a clutch.
Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe for more, and drop a comment below. We'd love to hear from you and it really helps out.